Hey everybody, welcome to the first day of Tour de Fleece, or I guess the first installment of my Tour de Fleece series. My plan right now, today is July 5th, the first day of Tour de Fleece. Right now my plan is to film a little bit every day and show you my progress and then upload kind of a dump of the week on Saturdays. So if I keep to this plan, you won't see this video until next week on the 12th, and I'll just kind of go through little daily snippets, but I thought I would show you what I'm going to spin first. In my intro to Tour de Fleece video, I made a decision that this would be my first spin for Tour de Fleece. These are two braids from Lauren from Little Fiber Co. And I am going to spin them up to make a 2-ply yarn, starting with this braid, which is called Gleam. This is 100% American Rambouillet, 20.5 microns, 4 ounces, and then its partner, which I'll spin next, is Incandescent. And I think these will be super beautiful together. So let's go ahead and get started prepping the fiber and Tour de Fleece day 1. Let's go. Okay, well, there you go. I'm all done prepping the fiber. I guess I shouldn't say that I'm actually all done because I'm really not. I only did half of it. And to be honest, I'm wondering if I should divide these little nests again in half. But yeah, that's good for now. Okay, I have finished my spin for now, for today. I just watched the first Final Destination movie on HBO or Max or HBO Max or whatever, it doesn't matter. Anyway, let me show you what I spun. Look at this. Look how pretty. It's really fun to see the colors come alive. There's yellows and greens and purples and pinks and some blues, and it just kind of goes in and out from each color. So that's it for day 1 of Tour de Fleece. If I spin more today, I will show you the progress, but otherwise I'll see you back here for day 2. Hey everybody, welcome to day 2 of Tour de Fleece. I actually did end up spinning a little bit more yesterday, but I didn't finish my goal. So I was figuring that if I can spin half a braid a day, then for a spin that requires 2 braids, I can finish that in 4 days. So I think that would be a good pace. I would have about five or 6 skeins finished by the end of Tour de Fleece. But I'm anticipating some braids will spin faster. They'll go by quicker. So this is what I have left of the first half of the braid. And then I have the whole second half to work with. So that's my job for today. I'm really liking how this Rambouillet is spinning up, and I'm eager and excited to get to the next braid of this 2 braid spin and see how they look plied together. But I still have a lot of work to do before I can get to that point, so let's get spinning. Oh, but before I get started, I do want to show you. I'm wearing bike shorts, spin shorts, which I thought were very appropriate for spinning and Tour de Fleece. How about I move this so you can actually see what is going on when I'm spinning? Okay, exciting news. It is now 4:30 p.m. and I am finished spinning the first braid. I can't remember if this is Gleam or Incandescent. I think it's Gleam, the variegated one. So I'm going to take it off the bobbin, and then I have something exciting to show you. I am super happy with how this turned out, and I think that the way it looks with the purple bobbin is maybe indicative of how well it will go with its purple companion braid. So that's what I'm going to spin next, but I have to say I am not as excited to spin this one because I was getting kind of weary of spinning thin. Like, if you look at this bobbin, maybe you can see, maybe you can tell, maybe you can discern, I was able to spin this quite thin, which I'm very happy with and proud of, but it is quite a slog to spin thin. And since I'm planning to ply it with this, I also want to spin this thin. So it's a whole thing. So I was thinking maybe I could pivot and spin a different braid that I want to spin thicker and maybe ply with itself so it won't require as much time, because this is spinning 200 grams or 8 ounces approximately. And if I just spin one braid to ply on itself, that's only half that amount. So theoretically, it would take half the time. I also realized that when I said earlier, if I could spin like a braid every 2 days, I didn't think about plying. And plying, I don't know why I keep putting this down if I'm just going to keep grabbing it, but plying these is going to take some time, especially since I spun this so thin. So maybe it's going to be a finished spin every 5 days, but that's so sad. That'd be only 4 finished skeins. Maybe I'm just being a little too ambitious and 4 is fine. But really the whole point of this challenge is for me to have fun. The whole point that I decided for myself is to have fun. So maybe I will pivot and just like do a quick palette cleansing spin. We'll see what tomorrow holds. So originally, before I sat down to film this little outro for today, I was thinking that I would prep this braid and pre-draft it and, break it up into the little strips that I like with my drafting, or my pre-drafting, but now that I'm wondering if I will pivot or not, I think I'll just wait for tomorrow. Future Rach will know what to do. But there are 4 things I want to show you that I got today, or I got it yesterday actually, that are super exciting for Tour de Fleece and just spinning in general. I got the next quarterly installment of my Storytime at the Treehouse Club. So 3 new braids of Cormo fiber from Treehouse Knits, and I have a clear favorite. Can you guess which one it is? Here's all 3 of them. It's this one, obviously. So this is Walk 2 Moons, and this is Oh, the Places You'll Go, which is probably my second favorite. And then this is Anne of Green Gables, which is so special because I just finished listening to the audiobook of this. So that means once again, well, maybe not once again, but I've read 2 out of 3 of these books that this fiber is based on. So maybe I'll spin up one of those, or I'll look and see if there are complementary colors in the existing Cormo braids that I have from January, February, and March installments of Storytime at the Treehouse. So now I have 6 braids for that yearly club, halfway through. The other thing that I got yesterday is some literature. This is Yarnitexture, A Knitter's Guide to Spinning, Building Exactly the Yarn You Want by Jillian Merino. And I was mostly excited for this book, well, for many reasons, but I really want to figure out fractal spinning. And I was kind of disappointed to see there wasn't a large section about it, nor is there any like mention of fractal in the index. I'll have to look again. But the only part that I saw, there is a page or 2 that discusses it. Let's see if I can show it to you. See if I can find it. But even if it doesn't go over fractal spinning, there's still a lot that I can glean from this, I do believe. Here it is. So it's on page 102. It's called Fractal Fun. And then on page 104, I think this is an example of how you might draft or pre-draft your fiber to be a fractal spin. I need to look at this more. Maybe I'll read this front to back. Yeah, but this is a pretty cool book because there's also knitting patterns in the back of it. That's awesome. So, something to look through and poke around with, but that's exciting. But at the very least, I'm very happy and proud and satisfied that I have, the first, I forgot where the camera was, the first braid of Tour de Fleece is officially spun. It's a single on my bobbin. So there you go. That's it for day 2, I suppose. If you want to watch more people do Tour de Fleece, I mean, what am I saying? I want to watch more people do Tour de Fleece. So if you have any channel recommendations on YouTube, let me know in the comments and I'd love to check them out. Okay, see ya. Day 3 is tomorrow, so I'll see you then. Hello from 10:53 p.m. on day 3 of Tour de Fleece. I didn't think I was going to spin today because by the time I finally sat down to craft, I was more in the mood for knitting, but lo and behold, I'm pre-drafting my braid of incandescent, so let's do that together. Hello, welcome to day 5 of Tour de Fleece. As you saw from the end of day 4, which actually ended just minutes before midnight, I finished my single of incandescent, this beautiful purple, and now it's ready to be plied with gleam. I'm going to ply these together. Someone in my comments on my intro to Tour de Fleece video said they thought I should spin the purple first so it would keep me motivated to get to gleam, the variegated, or like the multicolor braid. And you were right. I wish I had seen that comment before I started, but this was quite the mental hurdle to get past. But I did it. I spun the whole braid in one day, and it was a thin spin, so I'm particularly thrilled with that. So I'll be plying these together today, but before I get started, I am going to give my hands a little bit of a spa treatment because I may need to charge this. Oh no, there's battery. Because basically I spun for many hours. It was like 12 hours from start to finish. It wasn't 12 consecutive hours, like I wasn't spinning the whole time, but oh, that's so nice. The compression is starting. Once the compression starts, this doesn't fall off. But anyway, going to give my hands spa treatment, a little bit of a compression massage, and then I'll get to plying. Okay, hello from 10 p.m. on day 5 of Tour de Fleece. I have the most full bobbin I have ever had in my life as a spinner. Oh, I just am making a mess. I was trying to bend down to get it off the wheel, and then I bumped it, and then I bumped into my little table next to me, which then bumped into my cup of tea. So I've got to clean that up, get everything sorted. So, oh my goodness, I spilled a lot of tea. I didn't realize how much tea, but lucky for me, I already have a towel in here because last night I had a pot of tea, so I was using this towel to keep the teapot warm in betwixt the pours, like in between my pouring of each cup of tea. Anyway, who cares about that stuff? We're here to talk about spinning. So let me show you this bobbin. I did not grab the jumbo bobbin and jumbo flyer for this ply because it takes some effort to install the jumbo flyer, jumbo bobbin, to switch it out, and I didn't feel like doing that. So I was definitely playing bobbin chicken. Look at this. This is full to the brim. I spun, or I plied all of Gleam. This is the bobbin Gleam was on, all plied up, and this is what I have left of incandescent. So it was a relatively even spin between the two braids in terms of yardage I got. I'm guessing. I don't really know. But gonna skein it up. I'm going to use my Vivo skeiner from Kromsky. They sent it to me last year. And this is how I use, or how I wind my bobbins into skein form. I don't really use a niddy noddy anymore. if I can avoid it, because the Vivo scanner makes it so much faster and easier and less labor intensive. I must sound like just the laziest bag of bones uh, ever, but I just really like using the Vivo scanner. So let me clear off my little table here and get it out, and then I'll show you a little bit how it works, because I know at least one person wants to see how it works, because they submitted a question in my Q&A Google form ages ago asking me to show more of how the Vivo scanner works. So let me do that now. All right, the Vivo scanner lives in the craft closet, which here the craft closet is. If you think it's a mess, get out of here, because it's so much better than it used to be. So I keep this assembled here, and I'll put it here. But that's not all, folks. I keep the base to the Vivo scanner in here, along with the 4 dowels that I need to operate it. Okay, so the Vivo scanner is essentially a tabletop Swift, and oh my gosh, it's so much faster than a Nitty Knotty, so much faster. So you do have the opportunity to clamp this down on your table or counter or whatever you're using. There's a hole here you can use to clamp it, and it comes with a clamp, but I usually just get going because I'm just too lazy. So there are four dowels that you just put in these holes, and it's nice because they're adjustable, just like any tabletop Swift or umbrella Swift. So you can make the circumference of your skein what you'd like. And then what is really handy for winding, I think particularly hand spun yarn, is this little knob here, which is also adjustable. You can move it along the length of the arm. So I just wrap it around once or twice, and then I put it around the dowels. Oop, I need to do that a little bit more securely. Maybe actually do twice instead of just saying it. Okay, and then I just start spinning it around, and I am skeining up my hand spun. So for me, it's most comfortable to stand up while doing this, because it gives enough space from my arm, like so I don't accidentally clip it. So let me wind this up, and then I'll show you what the end result is. Here's the whole Vivo scanner. And to take the yarn off, you don't have to actually pick it up to do this. It's just what's working for me. So you just slide it off, and there you have your skein. I have 2 skeins. This one is smaller, I can already tell, because I tried to gauge and divide it in half. This is obviously less than half. But here's, whoop, the bigger one. Very, very happy with this spin. Definitely a labor of love. But that turned out pretty darn good. So it will look a lot better once it is washed and dried. It's so hard to twist these up in a beautiful way. Just a go. But look, my yarn. My first tour de fleece skeins. I'm very happy. Okay, that's it for tonight. I'm gonna go to bed. Okay, hi. Sorry to interrupt that really nice, calm, cool, collected montage from yesterday, but that's all the footage I took, so that's all I can show you. Welcome to day 7. Today's Friday, July 11th. I'm going to start today by showing you the 3 skeins that I have finished thus far in Tour de Fleece during this first week. You've already seen them, but they've been washed, they've been thwacked, and they're not quite 100% dry, but they're definitely plumper than when you last saw them, so I want to show you. Dun da da da! Here they are, all 3 of them. Here, let me bookend the Rio Grande on this little setup. I'm so happy with these 3 skeins. So here is the 8 ounces of fiber from Little Fiber Co. spun up into, I'd say probably a DK or worsted. I have not measured the yardage. I have not measured the thickness of the yarn, the wraps per inch, whatever. I'm just saying that based on sight. Certainly some sections look like a sport weight, but I think overall DK/worsted. And then this Rio Grande, this is Polworth from Long Dog Yarn. I didn't tell you this yesterday, sorry. I just didn't feel like talking to the camera, okay? But it's absolutely gorgeous. I think this is my closest attempt at a fractal spin. So I think I'm starting to be able to wrap my mind around it. Basically, it's a combination of color management through drafting or pre-drafting into long and short strips to help manage the color. That, I'm sure some of you are just shaking your head and saying, Rachel, that's really an elementary understanding. Guess what? I'm baby, so yeah, probably it is. But I'm really, really happy with this, and I look forward to continuing to play around with color management as I spin yarn. But for today, day 7, I'm not sure if I'm going to spin. If I am going to spin, it's not going to be till later in the day, meaning any spinning I do today probably won't be in the video you're watching right now, because I'm actually editing the video you're watching right now, and I want to get this done so it can be uploaded tomorrow morning on Saturday, July 12th. So what I will do today is prep some fiber. And I think what I want to do, hmm, hmm, hmm. You know, I think that I'm going to see, I keep going back and forth. And since I said the whole goal was to have fun and just spin what is calling to me, you know what braid has been living in my mind rent free? It's the Long Dog Yarn surface pressure on Polworth. I really enjoyed spinning the Polworth Rio Grande skein, and of course now I can't find the Polworth surface pressure braid, but I have her BFL silk right here, but I'm gonna dig through and find the Polworth braid, and that's what I'm going to pre-draft today. But thus ends the video, the first installment, or I guess technically the second installment if you count my Welcome to Tour de Fleece video. But week 1 is all set, and come back here next Saturday to see what I got up to over the course of this coming week for Tour de Fleece. Hopefully, I can keep this momentum going. I'm already sensing that I need to balance it out a little bit more. I've been really, really heavy into spinning and staying up really, really late spinning. I haven't added timestamps to the days while I've been editing the video, but I have stayed up till like midnight, 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock in the morning. And I feel that's not the best choice for my body. Yes. Okay, so hoping to keep the momentum going, but with a little bit more balance. But in the meantime, before I see you next, I hope you're having a great time. If you're doing Tour de Fleece, let me know in the comments any accomplishments you've hit, or things you've learned, or reasons you're proud of yourself, or what you plan to spin next. I'd love to hear it all. And I'll see you next time. Okay, bye.